Hi everyone, welcome to Yoga with Heini. I'm Heini, and this week I'm going to lead you through a morning slow flow yoga practice. We're going to start gently, slowly from the floor and build up, ending up standing up, and hopefully we'll wake up along the way. Let's get started. You don't necessarily need any props for this week's practice, but I have a block that I'll use for seated poses. So if you know that sitting, especially kneeling, is a bit uncomfortable in the knees or maybe in the feet, then have a block or maybe a pillow or some books that you can stack up on top of each other as your yoga block. That's the only optional prop for today. We are going to start in a seat, and this could be a cross-legged seat, or you could sit on your shins wherever you feel comfortable for a couple of minutes as we first wake up our breathing, and then we're going to start moving. So find that easy, comfortable seat and take a few slightly deeper breaths in and out. You could have your hands resting on your thighs, resting on your lap, so that your shoulders and neck can soften. And send a few breaths down to your ribs. Really let the ribs open out to the sides, open to the front, open towards the back. Starting to energize the body with our breath. And still keeping shoulders soft, so we're not breathing up to the shoulders, but really breathing down to the ribs. Take another breath in and out. You might even slightly exaggerate that movement of the breath. And then we're going to go into some neck rolls. We start to move the neck. Be gentle, the neck might be quite tight in the morning. With your next exhalation, let your right ear come towards the right shoulder. So now you're maybe feeling a bit of a stretch on the left side of the neck. Inhale there. And then as you exhale, roll your head down and forward. Chin comes closer to the chest. And roll your head towards the left side. So now left ear closer to the left shoulder. Pause there to breathe. And with your next exhalation, again, roll the head down and forward. And towards the right shoulder. Inhale there. And again, exhale, roll the head down and forward and to the left side. And we'll do the cycle once more to each side. You can let your shoulders, you can let your upper back move. Use the exhalation to round forward and move to the other side. And then once more, roll your head to the left. And from the left side, bring your head down and forward to the center. Pause there to breathe. And then slowly bring the head back up to the center. You could look up, lift your chin up. And then find a neutral neck. Bring head to the center. You could roll the shoulders. And from your seat, move onto all fours, onto hands and knees. And we'll say good morning to the rest of the spine as we go into cat-cow movements. With your exhalation now, round your spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale there. And then with the next exhalation, open the chest. Inhale in the back bend. And exhale, round the spine. Tuck the tail under, round the neck. inhale towards the back. And again, exhale, open the chest, arching the spine. You can look forward. Exhale again, round the spine from your tail all the way up to the neck. Inhale. And once more, exhale, open the chest. Inhale in your back bend. And then bring your spine to center. Find a neutral spine. And from here, we're going to tuck the toes under and lift up into downward facing dog. You can move your feet. You can move your arms. You can walk from one hand to the other. Open the backs of the legs. Let your heavy head drop down. And then from this downward dog, we're going to step the right foot forward into a low lunge. So you can look forward to hands and then step the right foot forward. And here you have an option: either leave the left knee off the mat or bring your left knee down, a bit lower lunge. You choose. Now leave left hand on the mat. And then as you inhale, start to circle the right arm, opening the chest, twisting to the right side. Exhale, circle the right arm back down. We do this a few times. In breath, open the chest and circle the arm up and behind you. And exhale, circle back down. 2 more times in your own pace with your own breath. Circling, moving the spine and the arm. And once more, that last circle. And slowly bring both hands back down to the mat. And now from this low lunge, shift your weight back onto your left knee and hands. And then extend, open your right leg out to the right side of the mat. And come down onto elbows. We're going to do thread the needle pose, but down on the elbows. And I'll give you an option to stay here without the twist. So just opening the inner leg on the right side. Or if you want, now slide left arm out to the right side of the mat so that you're sliding the arm under the right arm, and then lean your head, lean the left shoulder and maybe the right elbow back down onto the mat. And this would give you a twist for the spine, a gentle twist, nothing too intense. And breathe a few more times in and out. You could lean the pelvis slightly further back if you want. It might change sensations in the legs. Make sure there's no pain in the knees, no pain in the hips. It's a big pose for the morning. And then slowly, slowly shift the weight back onto the right hand. Come back onto both elbows if you were in that twist. And then bring your right leg behind you. You can bring both knees to the mat. And from here, we're going to slide all the way down onto the belly. Extend your legs behind you. And we're going to come into some back bends, some cobras. And I suggest today we have the arms a bit further out to the sides. Either hands and elbows, forearms on the mat. Or lift your elbows up, but keep your hands, your arms quite wide. Press the front of the pelvis, press the feet down to the ground. Inhale, open your chest away from the mat. A small cobra. And exhale, release back down. You choose how high up you want to go. Second round. With the in-breath, peel the chest off the mat and reach head away from the feet. So you keep that length through the spine. And exhale, release back down. 2 more times. Keep the legs active, although they're on the floor. Inhale, peel the chest off the mat, so your feet, your head reaching away from each other, maybe a bit higher up. And exhaling down. We're going to do 1 more round. With your next in-breath, open the chest. Lift it off the mat. Lift the head up. And exhale, release back down. Good. And then bring hands closer to the shoulders. Bring yourself onto hands and knees. And for a moment, round your spine into child's pose. So counter pose for the back. And really let yourself curl in. It might be quite nice to move here. Rock the pelvis from side to side. Kind of wiggle from side to side a bit. Waking up as we go through the movements. So not really relaxing in the pose too much, but trying to move and get the whole body going for the day ahead. Couple more breaths in child's pose. Arms could be long. You could have also elbows on the mat here if you want. And then slowly bring yourself back onto hands and knees, and we're going to say hello to our downward dog again. So tuck the toes under, lift the pelvis up, and opening the backs of the legs after that child's pose. Maybe finding a bit more of a lift up through the pelvis this time. Maybe it's a bit more active downward dog. Hands pressing down. Head can still drop down. And take a couple of breaths in and out. So finding that grounding through the palms. Lifting up through the pelvis. And then we're going to go into the lunge and thread the needle on the other side. So now from downward dog, you could again look forward, step your left foot forward closer to hands, and same options for the legs. Either keep the back leg knee off the mat or bring your knee down to the floor. You decide. Right hand stays down. We're going to inhale, reach the left arm up and twist to the left side. So really using chest, the back, the arm all together. Same again. The arm comes down and then inhale, twist to the left side. The arm reaching up. The arm comes back down. 2 more circles with your own pace, with your own breaths. But really trying to turn the chest bone out to the left side. The right arm stays strong, pressing down. And then from that last circle, bring both hands down and shift the weight onto your right knee and hands so that you can now extend the left leg out to the left side of the mat. And lower down onto elbows so we get to take the weight off the hands and wrists. So you can choose again to stay here, not twisting. Or if you want, slide your right arm under the left arm towards the left side of the mat. Lean the head down into that twisting, thread the needle. You can still leave your left elbow resting on the floor. Opening the chest, but in a gentle way, because this could be a big, big stretch in the legs as well now in the morning. Inner thighs, maybe the groin area. So be gentle and keep breathing. Wherever you are, take another couple of breaths in and out. If you are in that twist, slowly come back to center, come back onto both elbows, both forearms. And this time, we're going to bring the left leg behind us, but then come sitting on the shins. And this is where you could now bring a block under the pelvis. So if this is an uncomfortable seat, maybe for the knees or feet, then bring a block or a cushion under the pelvis. And just make sure you have a bit of room behind you, because we are going to now step the hands behind the pelvis, either fingertips or hands on the floor. And we arrive into our good morning baby camel pose. You can slightly tuck the tailbone under. That might intensify the opening in the front of the thighs. And you could stay here. I'm quite happy here. This is plenty enough of a stretch for the morning. If you feel really open and already awake this morning, you could lift this higher up. So I give you an option to inhale, lift the pelvis higher up and open the fronts of the hips, thighs a bit more. Come into a bigger back bend. You can lift your chest, your gaze up as well. So that is an option. You can stay there, or you might be staying down with your pelvis down. Wherever you are, take another few breaths in and out. This is now maybe our longest pose this morning. A really big opening for the front side. One more breath in and out. And then slowly bring the pelvis down if you've been higher up. And we're going to slowly walk the hands forward. Come once more onto hands and knees. Tuck the toes under, lift the pelvis up. And then we're going to walk the hands and feet closer together. So rather than going into downward dog, we arrive in a full forward bend. And I'm suggesting to walk the feet a bit wider apart, maybe all the way to the edges of the mat. So you're in a more kind of wider legged forward bend. Now you could bend your knees as much as you want. In the morning, the back side is often quite tense, so don't force the legs to be straight. Soften hands. If you want, you could even hold the elbows in front of the legs. Rock a bit from side to side. Take another breath or two in and out. Full opening for the back side of the body. And then if you are holding the elbows, release the hands, the arms. Exhale, bend the knees. Lift the lower belly in and start to roll the back up. Coming all the way up to standing pose. Lift the head up and find a mountain pose. You could leave your feet wider apart, or you could also bring your feet hip width apart. Where do you feel stable? Take a couple of breaths in and out, finding your feet. And then a few times twist from side to side, just allowing your upper body, your arms to twist, kind of swing from side to side, giving one more twist for the spine. Make sure you're not twisting too much from your knees, but just more focusing on the spine. Couple more times. And then bring yourself back to the center. Roll the shoulders, leave your chest open. Our final pose. Take a few breaths here in this mountain pose. Let yourself feel grounded, feel stable, feel strong in your standing pose. Feel that space again in the ribs, in the chest for each breath. Breathing out to the sides, to the front, even to your back. If it's part of your practice, bring your palms together in front of the chest. thank yourself for waking up with this yoga practice this morning. I hope you enjoyed the practice and I hope you feel a bit more awake now. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you're now ready for the day ahead. If you enjoyed the practice, please give the video a thumbs up before you go, and if you have time, leave a comment below. Let me know how you feel now after the practice, or if you have any questions, leave them in the comments as well. And last thing, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel to grow. Thank you. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.